Hey my loves, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another video. Please excuse my voice. I've got a little bit of a cold going on, but that doesn't stop me from recording this highly requested stewed peas recipe for you guys. Listen, you guys have asked me for this so much. I think I am literally starting to go crazy now. So let us get started. First things first, I'm gonna give you a bit of an ingredient breakdown. Over here I've got a tablespoon of all-purpose seasoning. Here I've got some spring onions. Here I've got a whole medium onion that I sliced. Here I've got some parsley. I've got my Scotch bonnet pepper, 1 broadleaf thyme. I've got 1 teaspoon of thyme because I didn't have the fresh thyme, so this is why I'm using the powdered thyme today. I have my coconut milk, sea salt, black pepper. In here I've got a cup of plain flour and a tablespoon of cornmeal. Over here I've got my bowl of red kidney beans that's been soaking for about 5 hours. Today I decided to put some pimento seeds as well as some garlic in there, which will help to infuse in the beans while it's soaked. Last but not least, I've got my pigtails. So my pigtails were actually salted, but because I don't want it to be so salty, I went ahead and just blanched it, removed some of the salt, okay? And all you do is just to boil your pigtails for about 20 minutes and drain the water, and it should be all right, okay? Because we will not be using much salt in this recipe, simply because our pigtails were salted to begin with. As for the peas, it's been soaking in some water and some pimento seeds as well as some garlic cloves. And the only reason I like to do this when I'm doing my stewed peas is that I find that as it soaks, it just infuses into the peas. Hence, it has a bit more flavor. Now, another thing that I need to mention before I carry on, this is just my method of making stewed peas. If you have any other method, you can feel free to share with me. But please do not bash my method, simply because I know that we all cook differently, and all I like to do is just to show you how I do my stuff. So okay? First things first, I like to go in with my peas. Now, I keep the water that my peas has been soaking in, simply because as you can see it's a bit red. Now this is really gonna help with our beautiful color that our stew peas will have, okay? If I'm making like dumpling soup, or I'm making pigtail soup or a bouillon, I would normally just drain the water, but for stew peas you need to have this nice reddish kind of pinkish color when it's all done, okay? So drain the water if you want to, but me personally, I don't drain the water, okay? Then again, do you, darling. Whatever you think is best for you or works for you, do just that. After I've added in my peas, I'm going in with my pigtails, okay? And I'm adding all of my pigtails to the pot, all right? So, and this is about 1 kilogram of pigtails. Now I will have the full ingredient list in my description box, so make sure you check it out later on for a full description list of the amounts and everything that I will be using, okay? Next, I'm gonna go in with a cup of water, okay? And this is all you need. Then I'm gonna go in with some of my spring onions. We don't want to put in all of the spring onions as yet. We just want to put some in there just to help this boil, okay? I'm also going to put some of my onions, not all of the onions, just about half of it, because you find that after an hour after this boils, it will need a little bit more seasonings as we go along, okay? I'm also going in with a little bit of black pepper, about a half teaspoon of black pepper. Then you want to give this a nice little stir, okay? Just make sure everything is nicely combined. And then you're gonna put on your lid and let it boil for 1 hour. Now after the hour is up, I will come back and check to see how it's looking, to check to see if my peas are soft. Bear in mind my peas had been soaking for a few hours, so that alone should shorten the cooking time, but you never know, it might need another 20 minutes or so after the hour. So set a timer for 1 hour, come back and check after that hour, okay? As you can see, it's just starting to come up to a bubble, so gonna set my timer now, come back in 1 hour. So it's been about an hour since my pot has been going. Okay, and this is how my pot is coming along. Okay, it looks very good, as you can see. My pigtail has taken on the color of the peas, and it just looks so nice and rich. Now I am gonna check my peas to see if it is soft. Guys, look at that. See this? My peas is nice and soft. Okay, so what I'm gonna do next is to go in with my coconut milk. And this is the coconut milk that I'll be using. The reason I love this one so much is because it's got such a high content of coconut. As you can see, it has 91% coconut extract, which is very high. And it only takes about 5 to 10 minutes to cook. This literally cooks so quick, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and put in a whole can of this in there. Look at that. Look at that. So beautiful, guys. And the reason it comes out like that is because the coconut milk was a bit cold, so this is why it came out like that. So now I'm just gonna mix that all in there like so. Okay, beautiful. So I'm gonna allow this to boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. But before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my Scotch bonnet pepper. I'm gonna add in my thyme. Okay. I'm gonna add in the rest of my spring onions. Okay, because this is like the last 15 minutes to get some extra flavor in there. I'm gonna go in with my onions. Okay, we're just basically seasoning the pot all over again. I've checked it for salt, and I'm going in with some of my all-purpose seasoning. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix that in together. Okay, looks amazing. Let's not forget my broadleaf thyme. I'm putting that in there as well. And I'm gonna give this a nice little stir. Now I'm only gonna let this cook for about 10 to 15 minutes because this is just gonna help the seasonings I added to cook, as well as my coconut milk. Okay, amazing. Put your lid back on and put a timer for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so guys, it's time to check on our pot once more. Look at that, gorgeous. And this is how it's looking. Look at how nice and rich. See, everything just looks so well put together. I just love how the peas stained the pigtails, and it just looks so good. Okay, it's nice and thick and creamy. Now I need to keep an eye on this Scotch bonnet pepper because I really don't want it to burst, and that will just make everything super spicy. Okay, so with my cup of flour, I went ahead and make a small dough, and I'm just gonna be pinching it off and be making some small dumplings to go in here. Okay, now you can make them any shape or size. It's entirely up to you. Okay, there we go. And I'm not making it too thick. I literally want this to cook within 5 minutes. Okay, so yeah, put in your dumplings. So this is my dumplings all in, and it's time to just mix this up. Okay, now this should take another 5 or so minutes to cook. Okay, because the dumplings don't take very long to cook. Okay, Looking amazing. Right. So I'm gonna leave the heat on low and allow this to go for about 5 minutes on low heat so the dumplings can cook, and our stewed peas will be all ready, guys. So beautiful. I just love how everything just looks so well put together. Time to check our pot once more, guys. It's been about 10 minutes now, and I am convinced 100% that our stewed peas is ready. I'm just gonna go ahead and mix it up. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Definitely a sight to see. And my Scotch bonnet pepper has actually held up. I'm impressed. Guys, all done, all done. Let me give you a bit of a close-up, as I always do. So this is the finished pot. Look at how amazing it all looks. Guys, if you enjoyed this recipe, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It was such a pleasure having you today in my kitchen, and I hope you enjoyed this beautiful stewed peas recipe. If you do your stewed peas any other way, make sure to leave a comment telling me how you make your stewed peas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely be seeing you again in my kitchen next time. Bye bye. Amazing. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It was such a pleasure having you today in my kitchen, and I hope you enjoyed this beautiful stewed peas recipe. If you do your stewed peas any other way, make sure to leave a comment telling me how you make your stewed peas. Thank you so much for watching, and I will definitely be seeing you again in my kitchen next time. Bye bye.